This past spring, I planted some red Everbearing raspberry plants. They are primocane, so I wanted to know how to prune them later this winter. I don't want to ruin them as they don't produce this coming spring. Please advise. Thank you so much, Yvonne in Sevierville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Sevierville. Okay.
Wow.
So I heard you talking about raspberries earlier. So what's your take on this question?
Well, most of our cane berries are the types that have primocane and then floricane.
Right.
So the primocanes don't produce any fruit the first year. Right. So anything that was produced this summer, he does not want to cut back.
Okay.
Unless he wants to just tip prune, which will force out more flowering stems from that one stem. But don't cut those back entirely.
Don't cut them back. Okay.
And the ones that grew this year that flowered and fruited, if this is a new one, he probably didn't have any. But if he did have some fruit this year, those canes are going to die anyway. Take them back all the way as far as you can.
Yeah, to the
Right,
ground.
I would agree with that. All the way back to the ground. Okay.
The good news is there are some that are everbearing, which would be treated differently. But he said these were primocane,
Right.
is what he meant
Primocanes
to say. I'm
instead
sure.
of primocanes. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And that should work for the most part.
And when he said these are primocanes, do you think he meant those were going to produce on the primocane?
Or did he call them were they ever
Yeah, they were red Everbearing raspberry
Okay,
plants.
so that's different.
That
If
is
they're
different.
Everbearing,
Red
then they're going to be
Everbearing,
different.
Yeah, raspberry plants.
Yeah, they're going to be different.
They are gonna
because
be
the
different.
primocanes, it's a biennial cycle. But with the Everbearing, you'll have 2 crops in 1 year. So after it actually bears and has fruit, and then that frost damage happens during the fall, then you would take back the actual cane to where it actually stops fruiting.
Okay.
Cut that back, and then the leaves will come out on the second part of the cane. So one cane will actually produce two flourishes of fruit. You'll cut back half of that, and then the next part will then produce. At the same time that year, a new cane will come up. You'll leave that one alone, but that's the first cane that's almost 2 years after the second flush of fruit. Then you
Go
cut
back
that
to the ground.
down.
Right,
Yeah.
that's when it comes down. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's happening on mine right now. You're right.
Yeah,
And
the
I did-
Everbearing is a little bit different than the primocanes. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is red Everbearing.
Well, but he said primocane, so I got
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he had
So
both
they are
on the
primocane,
same question.
Yeah.
So if it's an Everbearing, then it's different pruning. But if it's a primocane, then yeah, it would be the way Carol was saying that you'd have to
He
wait.
needs to
It's
find
definitely
out for
specified
sure.
they are primocanes, right?
Yeah.
They want to prune later. Don't want to ruin them as they don't produce this coming spring.
I would just be safe and not prune and figure it out
Right.
next year. It's
Yeah.
a new planting,
new plant.
probably.
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, subscribe. We have hundreds of family plot videos for you to view.